Sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. If all the things you never show, there are the things I want you to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't wanna tell me now, I guess I'll never know. Losing almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart to slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
Okay, hey you guys, welcome to our live. I wasn't gonna do a live, but then I saw this video and I wanted to share it with you guys. For most of you guys that know, I started a new job yesterday, and it is training, the onboard training stuff. Oh my god, right? And so when I get home, I'm just freaking tired and can't be asked to. I honestly get home right to bed. Seriously. When you sit in a room and you watch and, like screen all day, words. Yeah. Fun times. Anyways, I want to share this video with you guys. So I quickly was like, well, I'm going to do a live and share this with you about the flashlight, because Seth in here says a few things. This came out not too long ago. Probably now, maybe about an hour and a half ago, perhaps. So, hey to everyone that's coming in and watching, and hello Mark, Crafty One, Necessary Evil, Lisa Marie, Mark again, It's Crime and Shame. I don't know what that one is, like Silker Mom 24, Miranda. Hey guys. Okay, so again, this, like Seth explains it in here, so I just want to share it with you guys because see, myself, I understood that video had no evidentiary value, like it said. And then Christopher Proudfoot had also said that they had seen the video, but he never ever said what it was. But Seth here says what it is, which is a garbage truck. But anyways, I'm just going to play this clip out. I haven't listened to the whole thing. As soon as I heard about the garbage truck thing, I was just like, okay. And like, hopefully then it will get people off of that flashlight thinking that it's two flashlights. So we'll just play this out. Okay. Good. I mean, it was good. It's just, the onboard training stuff where you sit in kind of like a room. There's just sort of three of us plus the trainer, June today. But anyway, so it's good, but it's just that it's, it's hard when you have to sit there and you haven't done that in a year and a half. Like at least at home, I can go take a nap if I'm tired, and I can do whatever. But after like a couple hours, like 3 times, I was like, please give me some toothpicks, somebody. When you get so tired and you're just struggling to stay awake and you can't put your head down or nothing like that. Like I want to. Don't tell people my name. Okay, Necessary Evil. But anyways, hey Ben, how are you? Yeah, like it's fine. Just the onboard training stuff, right? But 3 times yesterday, I was like, come on, like seriously? Oh, like cold water on the face, constantly drinking water and whatever. And I'm just like, okay, I just like seriously, I'm just wanting to fall asleep right now. Anyways, you guys, so let's just show this and then we can talk about it afterwards, okay? So let's just hear what Seth has to say here. Oh, and by the way, I don't know what's going on with studio today. I don't know if there's another creator in here, but All I know is hi, Miss Dog Lover. Miss Dog Lover, haven't even had a chance to look at your messages either. In fact, I've virtually barely spoken a word since yesterday because I'm even ugh, just tired. But anyways, I'm not sure what it is with YouTube Studio, right? So normally when I create a live, then I have to go into YouTube Studio and set it up for like replay chat and if slow mode or become you have to be a sub in order to watch it and stuff like that. Um, yeah, it's not letting me click edit. So normally I click edit and then I go through my options and do that and set that stuff up. And that's why you guys will usually see, slow mode 30 seconds and type of thing. But honestly, it's not letting me do anything. It keeps telling me the same. I don't know. Start sending us your video from your streaming software. No data, no data, no data. So I honestly don't know what's going on. Obviously, studio's glitching. But anyways, and CD, I answered you back, dude. I'd love to join you on Tuesday, but like I said, I'm working now, so sorry. Isn't it nice though? You work one day, right? You work one day and then you get a paycheck, for like 5 days worth of work. Well, I mean, really, technically, I'm working three, but because of the holiday, right? If ever there's a holiday in there, plus I'm on salary. But if ever there's a holiday, you get paid on, like my husband, he got paid yesterday as well because his payday is tomorrow, which is Friday, but it's a holiday, so you get paid the day earlier. Anyways, all I know is there's a nice check for, for 3 days work because they paid you for five. But anyways, I saw you. I totally get it. Yeah, I'd be there for you, dude. But anyways, let's play this clip out, guys. Let me just find it and hit play.
More than a month
Let
since
me
your
just
son
turn
went
it up.
missing. How are you feeling today?
Take myself off.
Same as I was yesterday. Just continuing the search, continue looking. I'm not going to give up. Nobody can make me give up.
And where have you been searching? Where do you think he is?
I've been searching everywhere. I mean, anything out of that 5 mile radius that the initial search did, they covered everything there. But there's stuff elsewhere. I mean, we got a lot of territory to cover. And it being over a month, he could be anywhere currently. So I'm searching everywhere.
You, Katie, and Chris had a meeting with TBI today. Did you find out any new information?
Not that I can discuss.
Any progression that might show hope in this search?
Oh, I always have hope. Can't take that away from me.
And how confident are you that Sebastian is alive, and what do you think he's doing right now?
Pretty sure he's probably playing video games somewhere. Nobody's letting him, whoever's got him, they're not letting him see the regular news. They're not letting him surf the internet. Or else he'd know that I'm looking for him. And he'd know that he should actually be trying to get a hold of me. And that keeps me going.
Is there a strong reason to believe he may have been abducted?
I don't know if he's been abducted or if he's just, over at a friend's house. Never know. But I'll know when I find him. I'll know exactly what has happened to him.
And other news outlets were reporting that there were lights seen in the backyard that were caught on camera by a neighbor's video. Is that true?
No. What that was a trash truck. Went through, picked up trash, and when it left, of course it went faster. It didn't have to stop to pick up trash. That's just false information provided by a particular person.
Did the dogs ever pick up a scent for Sebastian?
From my information that I've been given, no.
Did they find anything on Sebastian's cell phone that would, kind of show that he was going to run away or where he might be?
Not that I know of. He didn't have any internet access or anything on there. He'd have been able to call, text, take a picture, send a picture, use the calculator. That's about it.
Was Sebastian in school on Friday, the day before he went missing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you, Chris, or Katie, or any of you suspects in this case?
No, we're not.
Have you been cleared?
I don't know if the investigation is still ongoing. We wouldn't be cleared until the investigation is done. But currently, from my understanding, they don't have any information that would attach us to any wrongdoing.
CPS has gone to Katie's house before. You didn't know about that until this investigation. How does that make you feel?
That somebody somewhere dropped the ball because I was never informed. And I'm the biological father. I have joint physical custody. Somebody dropped the ball and didn't reach out and inform the father, which is me. And I don't understand why the state dropped the ball on that one.
And how did you find out about CPS?
Podcast.
And I mean, how does that concern you, especially with this case, that they might have done something to cause him to run away?
I don't know what that really means, but I just know that I don't have all the information.
Is there an official timeline? And I know people, there was, we went to bed at this hour, but does TBI or anyone have an official timeline as to the
I'm
series?
pretty sure they do, but I'm not involved in the investigation, so I wouldn't have it.
Have the three of you been in contact every day like you were several weeks ago about this?
I was in contact with both Kitty and Chris today. But I've heard he said his phone is open and available. Well, so is mine. You can leave a voicemail. Like 7 or 8 people have already left me voicemails today. I'm going. I get people calling me while I'm on the phone, and it's like I can't just sit there and answer the phone for everybody. If I did that, I probably wouldn't be able to get out of my house.
There's been a lot of criticism over this investigation. I'm sure you've received criticism as well as the Proudfoots. How does that make you feel in a time where you're just trying to find your son?
People are being that goes back to those keyboard warriors I talked about on the first interview that you and I had. They're still at it. They'll never stop. There's cowards in this world, and then there's people who are go-getters. My feet, they're on the ground. They're never going to leave the ground. I'm going to find my son. Period.
And plans, today on moving forward, any more resources being used on this investigation, or anything you have to say about that?
The United Cajun Navy is currently sitting down there right now at 90 Volunteer Drive in Hendersonville. 10:30. That's when volunteers need to show up. 10:30. Show up, have your ID, sign the paperwork, and they send people out in teams. When you show up, there ain't nobody there except for a couple people. That's because they've already sent teams out. They're just going to keep sending teams out until we find my son.
Have there been a
Thanks,
lot of
Miranda.
volunteers coming out to help find Sebastian?
Today there was, and I want to thank everybody who did come out. We're seeing an increase, and we're going to continue to see an increase. I'd like the whole state of Tennessee to volunteer, and then we'll hit other states.
And you're Sebastian's father. Tell me, what is Sebastian like?
He's a unique child. All right. It's really hard to describe my son. Besides being unique, whether he's up to no good or he's up to good, he's just got that uniqueness about him. It's really hard to describe. He's my mini me. If he has a goal, he's going to accomplish that goal. People at school, they liked him. All the kids are wanting to know when he's going to come back. They want to help and volunteer. Teachers they're putting out prayers every day. Everybody, it's coming up. It's Easter. I'm hoping for an Easter miracle. I could definitely use it in my life right now.
And why did they search the landfill?
I have no idea. They didn't. Not part of the investigation. They're not going to tell me stuff. I am emotionally attached, as any parent should be.
And how often do you meet with TBI?
If I call them all the time. Call, text, hey, any new news? They either let me know or they let me know.
Are you happy with the work that all these agencies have done, or do you think there needs to be more?
There could probably always be more. We just got to figure out what more is necessary. Am I happy with them? I'm not unhappy. But you asked me that after my son's back, and it's going to be I'm happy. All right, because in law enforcement, it's always goal oriented. You know, go to work, put a smile on your face, get the job done. I know that they're putting their effort, 150% effort into this, and I appreciate that, and I'm hoping it will pay off with fruition.
Do you think Katie and Chris are suspects?
I have no idea.
Sebastian's been missing for more than a month now. What keeps you getting up every morning, going out and searching for him?
Being a dad, having perseverance, wanting him to come home, wanting to watch him finish growing up.
Do you wear this every day? Talk to me about this shirt.
This right here is my own billboard to find my son. People notice people. People notice what people are wearing. So I am a walking handout. I have these in my car.
How do you select that photo? It's so cute.
Because it's cute. It's got a smile. It's the last picture I took of him.
Okay, whoops. Guess that's over. We'll just leave it there for a second. Okay. So for anyone that is coming in, like I said, this clip came out, or this interview came out not too long ago, within the last couple hours. Anyways, again, bottom line is people can think what they want, but when the Bureau of Investigation says that there's no evidentiary value to the videos, none of them, and then Christopher Proudfoot said that they saw the video and it's not lights, and then Seth Rogers is telling you that it's a garbage truck, and I think some of you guys might forget, or maybe not have heard, I should say, is that they did say that the timing was wrong on the video. So the garbage truck came around 5:10, not say 3:10. So, like I said, Seth is pretty much a straight shooter. So I already know that there was no use in pursuing the flashlights. But because the mom said a flashlight, and happy birthday, Lacey, by the way. Yeah, it's fine. Just the onboard training stuff is really tiring. Looking at like paperwork. I think tomorrow we get to play a little bit more on the computer part. But anyways, yeah, Dad really seems to have hope. I wonder what information they were given today with that. Dad really seems to have hope. He's with someone. I do pray he is. It's heartbreaking seeing and hearing the dad searching and calling out for him. I mean, I do. Like, with Sebastian's case, I am truly trying to have hope that he is somewhere in somebody's house because he maybe chose to be. And, like I said, I mean, we don't know all the information. Obviously, like I said, there's something that they were told that they can't talk about. I don't know. What do you think, CD? What do you think, buddy? You think that he like it's so weird. Like this whole case is just utterly strange, you know. Like leaving home, like you're running away, but you don't take your phone, you don't take your flashlight, you don't take or sorry, you take a flashlight, you don't take your shoes, you don't take a jacket. Mom hears a thud. Like later on she reveals about the thud. We never heard anything about her. Well, we heard about it, I think, twice, about the getting into her vehicle. Once on Nancy and once on I think it was, can't remember if it was Chronicles of Olivia or which one anymore. I'm getting, as more interviews are coming out, it's like, okay, which one's from where anymore, and stuff like that. It's strange. We usually know with these cases if they're going to be found, but this one is something different. It is. And again, Christopher Proudfoot, Like I said, he posted that he took a polygraph test. I don't give a shit. He posted it, makes it true to what he was trying to tell people, whether or not he was doing it to save his face. Because he's that guy, like Christopher Proudfoot, narcissistic. Um, you know, I know that, I know that Robin Rogers, Seth's mom or grandma, no, his mom, I know that she's been beacon off, with regards to Christopher Proudfoot. And then, so I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say this. When I see somebody going around in different chats, accusatory of Christopher Proudfoot, because, she like doesn't like them, that they know more, a bunch of liars, not to say that that's not true. But then when I see a post that says, you know what, if people could stop with the negativity and then focus on Sebastian, because this is what this is about. Well, by the same token, when somebody's going into chats talking about negativity and then post that it's about Sebastian, that but that Robin is going into chats and talking about Christopher Proudfoot, being a liar and da 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 da. That's kind of like being a double hypocritical standard on there. But I want to say this: people's frustrations, whether it's Christopher's, Katie's, Seth's, Robin Rogers, they're going through an extremely hard time, obviously, right? This would be every parent's worst nightmare. But so stuff like that's going to happen, right? Is that like Seth, unless by chance it changed today, the Proudfoots weren't talking to Seth, and it started with the whole fact of they were going to have a pact that whenever they did something that they were supposed to let each other know. And then the way that the Proudfoots made it sound was like, and then Seth is kind of going off on his own, GoFundMe. That one of the things that seemed to bug Christopher Proudfoot was more about Robin Rogers, like, so here's this GoFundMe. And then his mother is like, going around beaking off about him. So, and then it was like he threatened a lawsuit or something like that to take it down. And it's just like, this is the shit that happens. It's like when somebody dies over a will, type of thing. And then people all of a sudden get, well, I'll say, well, a will is like greedy and, or sometimes it's not even just about greed. It's about, like the whole morality of it all and stuff like that. I remember when my grandma died, even though I never understood this one, but she left the organ, like the piano or the organ, to Paula. And I'm like, so my grandma left like a couple things, but she never left anything to my twin sister or myself or Kenny. It was all Paula and these other cousins. Like, thanks, grandma, right? Hope you're not turning too much over in your grave. But my grandma was like that, but she left Paula the organ. And yet I'm the one that played the organ, and I'm like, what the fuck? But whatever. But then anyways, then freaking crazy Aunt, whatever her freaking name is, comes down and somehow gets grandma to switch it so that her daughter gets the organ instead, which left Paula pissed off. And I'm just like, whatever, type of thing. But it meaning when stuff like this happens, right? I mean, like I said, it doesn't take too long for it to go south. That's kind of what happened here, is that, they felt Seth was doing this. There's a GoFundMe. They said that they were going to talk about things before anybody did anything, type of thing. And that just didn't happen. And then it just basically broke down. And then, like I said, Robin Rogers going into chats seemed to piss Christopher Proudfoot off. It's not that I disagree with what Robin Rogers has to say. Just don't be hypocritical and say, focus on Sebastian in a sense, but yet you're going around to each chat, basically talking about Christopher Proudfoot, a lot of it as well. Anyways, let me just go back to what CD said. Ellie doesn't tell you, hey, you have passed your poll. Right, that's what I think too. They don't just go, oh yeah, you passed. It's kind of like when the Don Wells, same thing, right? Well, we passed. Well, Ellie was like, we never said anything like that. It's probably more like, well, thank you for coming in, da 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 da. And they probably perhaps made him feel like they passed or something. But the thing is that, like I said, Christopher Proudfoot, The guy's just a jerk. Sorry, Christopher Proudfoot, you're just a jerk. 5 different wives, bunch of attitude, like you are nothing special, dude. So to me, cut it off with your attitude, your narcissistic attitude. You are nothing special at all. But yet he talks like it was funny on Nancy Grace. Like it's like he's, oh, good doggy. Oh, there you go. You're well behaved all of a sudden. But you could see that being on Nancy was different than being on a YouTuber or even the other news one. It was almost like on Nancy Grace. It was almost like someone that had their freaking basically holding their shit in their pants, because it was like, oh shit, what's she gonna ask? She's just like right to the right to it, right? Um, if she was perceived as deceptive, they would keep questioning her daily. Yeah. Um, yeah. I just, the how the Proudfoots are portraying themselves, they do not have the public vote for sympathy that much, to be honest with you. Um, like for me, it's kind of like I have sympathy for anyone that doesn't have any responsibility, of course, for the taking of a child or another person. Absolutely. In this case, just really trying to keep it about, Sebastian, in the sense of, whatever comes of Christopher Proudfoot and Katie type of thing, or doesn't come of it, you know, like I said, I'm just willing to wait and see, let the process happen. They know a lot more. Even though they're doing themselves no favors. I have no problem sitting there saying they're not looking great in the public eye. And every time that they try to fix it, they just dig themselves a deeper hole, because the public's not going to let them off. There's something not right about them. Did they struggle to cope with this autism? Don't know. I heard. By the way, I want to thank Sweetie Pie Low, because she had left a comment, and I reached out to her on Twitter, because I just wanted to ask her about some key moments. Because some people have talked to neighbors, and stuff like that. So I was just trying to get some, a little bit of times, perhaps, if I could put them into the timeline that I'm working on. Just like, about the trash, and then JLR, was talking about that they were at the Texas Roadhouse, and that the trash, the actual neighbor that handed over the video, like the husband, um, they had asked, they didn't actually see Sebastian taking the garbage out, but the police, according to this lady, well, from Sweetie Pilo, said that yes, like he was seen on camera, taking the garbage out that night. So whatever time that was exactly, probably between 6 and 7 in that area, which I guess it probably would have been dark out at that point. I give Nancy credit. She interviewed them perfectly. No, CD, not quite perfectly. There was definitely some questions that I think she should follow up on, that she didn't. Like, she did good, don't get me wrong. But there was definitely some questions that, like, she could have nailed down harder, but it's hindsight, right? Probably. But anyways, hopefully, maybe she can go back and ask some of those questions. Only took losing a huge. Nancy learned from her mistakes. Only took losing a huge lawsuit to learn. Did she lose a huge lawsuit? Chris Proudfoot is just like your ex. My son and daughter are autistic, and 2 grandkids. It can be challenging, but so can any child. I'm sure it is, right? I mean, it's hard enough just raising a normal child. What is the known fact in regards to the Uber without a plate in the neighborhood at 4 a.m. in the morning? Sebastian disappeared. I don't know. I don't know much about that whole Uber thing. I know that Trev Time was where I first heard of it, that he had some exclusive information and was talking to somebody in that neighborhood. So I'm not actually very familiar with the whole Uber thing, to be honest with you. Steffa. CD, okay, I thought it might be. I don't see anything wrong. No, ma'am, no, sir. I still speak to people like that today. Oh, yeah, you guys, you don't hear us up in Canada ever talking like that, by the way. You don't hear this. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. The only time I recall hearing that stuff typically was when someone from the US came up to Canada, and they would talk like that. Um, you just don't hear us ever using yes, ma'am, yes, sir. I think that's a Southern thing over there. Could be wrong, right? Because that's just me being knowledgeable about that. But I feel like it's a Southern thing, like this, like more of the Southern USA says that versus like the West Coast. Nothing is known fact on Uber, or even if there was a Uber. Thank you, half pint. Hey, half pint wifey. Sonny, you never know if Sebastian was to move in with dad full time. Sometimes other parents does something to the child. Not saying it's deaf, but what happened here, but their actions speak volumes. Thanks, buddy. She did pass her polygraph. They got a reading, but what reading they aren't saying. Well, we don't know that she passed her polygraph for sure. She says. Like, the only person that has said she passed a polygraph was her. Like, it's not like LE came out to us and said, hey, by the way, just so you know, Katie passed polygraph. They don't do stuff like that. Their first, then they might, I guess, if maybe someone's really getting tried in the public opinion, they might come out and say, well, this, like the mother did take a polygraph test, and they might maybe slowly put it out like that. And we have no reason to believe that, because he's out there looking for his kids and the other two aren't. Yeah, I know. I don't really believe in all these big search efforts. I believe what Christopher Proudfoot and Kitty deem as search efforts are handing out flyers, type of thing. I don't know. They honestly, like, I don't know. They're just their whole interviews and everything is weird. Like they really have not done themselves any favors, especially Christopher Proudfoot. But now it's kind of like both of them. They're not doing themselves any favors for sure. My latest guess is mom knew the boy had gone out. Maybe they had a tiff, figured out he'd come back because he fell asleep. So he walked off, ran and picked up things. I mean, at the end of the day, on video footage, it's going to be your car leaving. So we know that she said that she left in the morning, for whatever time, 10 minutes, probably 20 more so, whatever, right? That's when the whole, Seth is talking about, getting a text and phone call, getting off work at 7. But, it's just so funny when people want you to look for their child, and yet they're very, it's like pulling teeth to get the information from especially Katie. Like if someone could just literally tell you nothing, that would be Katie in all of this, to be honest with you. It's like you have to nail her down for her to even talk about her own child. I remember one of the interviews, I think it's when they were holding hands. That one pissed me off because it's like you're going to sit there and you can't show your face because you guys are too emotional in a sense. And yet you're just like, well, you just hope that people are looking for your son. Oh, well, I would just hope that you would get your ass on the camera and talk in front of it because it's your damn kid. You know, it honestly, it pisses me off to no end when it's our job. Okay, it's our child. It's our responsibility to come to the public and ask the public for our help. It's our job to get off our tufts and actually, search or do something. Like one sit home, the other go out and search. Anyways, bottom line is it's your own damn child, right? None of this, oh, I'm too emotional to go on screen. Yeah? Well, would I even give a shit about that? No. I don't care if I'm crying and wiping my tears away. I'm sorry, but I don't get people when it's like just that comment she made. Well, like we're gonna hide back here behind the thing, but we just hope that everyone is looking for our child. Well, stepdad, you know what I mean. Will you talk about children's services getting involved at some point? I didn't get to hear that on Nancy. To be honest with you, Steffa, I haven't overly paid attention to that part of it. about the whole CPS side and this side and that side. I mean, I know when it came out, but I've never deemed either parents step or real bio dad or mom. I've never deemed them as having anything to do with the disappearance of Sebastian. So I never really kind of looked at that stuff. But obviously JLR had dug up stuff and put it out there. I mean, I've heard it a few times, like when I on the Smiley World and stuff like that. But I can't say I understand the gist of it, but I can't say that I've dived into it. Sunny, which one? She pressed hard, and sometimes you push too hard, they will shut down. But nobody pressed hard. The questions they were being, if anything, the interviewer was asking stupid questions, you know? So tell me, do you miss your son? You know? No, 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 don't miss him at all, type of thing. Just stupid shit, looking for the emotional part of the interview. How about certain things, right? Like there was honestly, each to their own how they handle things. But again, it's your kid, you know, it's your child. It's nobody else's child. It's your child. You would not hold me back. But hey, each to their own. But you know what? Um, how they've handled it is exactly why they're being targeted, and why there's barely any sympathy coming to that side. All the sympathy, 90% of it is going to Seth, uh, because at least, he's out there, boots on the ground, looking for his kid. You can hear the crackling in his voice, and da 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 da. And I'm not saying that the mom's emotions aren't real, but it's like pulling teeth to get information out of her. It's stupid. It's your kid. Like, you should just be willing to sit there and talk about it. And then you got Christopher going, I can't talk about my times that I was there, but I wasn't there from February 21st to the 26th, but I was there in January, but I can't talk about the dates. Shut the fuck up, Christopher, honestly. Seriously. It's like, seriously, listen to that guy. You don't even know what to believe, what comes out of his mouth, because he's a liar. All he's trying to do is save face, and he's the poor victim. Even on his interviews, when he's the one talking, it's like, even in the interview that he did on Fox and Friends today, with Katie, because like I said, they're in two different spots there, because he's in the trailer and maybe she's back at home or somebody's whatever. But he literally can't help himself. She's talking, he's asking her the question, the interviewer, and then he buds in. Like, he just can't help himself, you know. But on Nancy Grace, oh, you talking to me? Oh, I'm sorry, you talking to me about the abuse? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I just hit him once. Oh, but you said in the other podcast, remember, a couple times. I don't buy it. Anyways, he's full of shit. Whether or not he had anything to do with it, he's just full of shit. She had an interview where they were trying to find the lost and assumed dead son of a lady. And Nancy Blue. Oh, that one. Okay. I think I heard about that. Angel, I disagree. They covered a lot. They just haven't released it. It's Channel 5 has a video out from the LE Command Center, and the map of where they have looked is over 10K miles logged. Yeah, I don't know, they said 5 to 10, between 5 and 10K. But yeah, I remember seeing the map. Now says the City, I agree. Mom should not have left. I went to the RV park. Mom is odd, to say the least. Like I said, I'm not in their position. Whatever. I mean, it's been a month. Obviously, probably the tears are drying up because you can only do so much crying, and then like you transition into different stages and stuff like that. I don't blame Katie for trying to get away. I mean, YouTubers, people can go overboard, but there's YouTubers that can go overboard for sure. But there's a lot of people out there that are good YouTubers that are just trying to cover the case, drive around, get a feel of the area, show us the area and stuff like that. But neighbors start feeling uneasy because people are driving around the neighborhood. there was that post by that lady too that, you know, like a lot of it's shocking, right? Because we got some dirty laundry coming out here, and then someone, and correct me if I'm wrong here, you guys, because I vaguely looked at it, but and I'm sorry if I'm missing a lot of messages here right now. Shit, probably a lot. Um, but someone was like, it's like they were putting out this photo, like this weird photo sepia, about Seth and beating his kid and stuff like that. And I'm like, does that not look like an, what is it, a MMA boxer or whatever? Like freaking cauliflower ears. Seth doesn't have no, Sebastian doesn't have no cauliflower ears. I feel like, you know, like I feel like those pictures were just, I feel like they're just fake and false, and people just trying to, you know, there's always those whack jacks that always try to, you know, be somebody behind a computer, put out shit because they just like to have a good laugh at, you know, putting something out there and watching it spread around like wildfire, and they're just sitting at home having a good laugh at the expense of families and shit like that. Those dumbasses exist everywhere on the internet, sadly. But anyways, it's like looking at this picture that you can tell is not even Seth. And then somebody puts out there, not Seth, Sebastian, that Seth is like this big abuser of Sebastian or something like that. The guy's a cop. You don't think if he was seriously abusing his kid like that with the, or all of a sudden miraculously, like Sebastian has these big cauliflower floppy ears that stick out. If you look at Sebastian's ears, they're perfectly normal ears. You know, it's just stupid stuff like that. Anyways, today I heard the landfill search was due to the trash workers starting cash cans were unusual. Right. That's exactly what was said about the trash cans. That's why they went to the landfill. Um, because they just felt there was more weight in them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, honestly, I mean, there's nothing that we know about that places Sebastian outside that house, truly. You know, were those hits in the construction area? Were they not? You know, I mean, we heard the audio about someone with a size 10, you know, shoe or something like that in the retention pond. Um, I've always believed that Sebastian did take off, or somebody assisted in helping him take off. You know, who knows? Maybe it was a busybody teacher that didn't like what was happening in his home. And, you know, those people exist, okay? Like, seriously, that's not even to the conspiracy side. Those wacko jacko teachers exist as well. Thank you, Miss Dog Lover. Lovely to see some old crew tonight. Yeah, yeah, in there. Thank you, Miss Dog Lover. Shouldn't you be in bed, Miss Dog Lover? Sounds YouTubers shouldn't get mad because they are asked not to live stream during searches, and they have put non-censored video of let me read that again. YouTubers shouldn't get mad because they are asked not to live stream during searches. um Others have put non-censored videos. Well, let me put it this way: they have their rights to stream.
Miss Dog Lover Super Chat. £9 and 99 pence, thank you. Lovely to see some of the old crew tonight. Great show, Sunny, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Dog Lover. So yeah, you guys, like, I mean, like, I'm all about your guys' you know, amendment rights and stuff like that, you know, exactly, you know, freedom to film and stuff like that. So that I'm fine with. But, you know, some people take it too far of what they show on there. You know, I heard that little F, we call him little fuckface Frank from Delphi, just a useless YouTube streamer. I heard that he had showed the bodies of the girls on his stream of Abby and Libby. You know, like, that dude is just a piece of shit. Okay, that he has no value to add to Delphi, or even as a YouTube streamer. He has no value to add. Um, you know, but to have to sync like that to literally show, you know, the pictures of Abby and Libby and stuff like that. I haven't watched it. It's just what obviously a very, very close friend was telling me that he did last night. And it's just sometimes disgusting what lines people cross, you know. Um Fuckface Frank, that's his name. Not Frank Meister. That little mouthy piece of shit from whatever the frick it is, Netherlands. Like you said, no value to Delphi. Just somebody who's so far up their own butt they can't even pull their head out of it because that's how far they are up their own butt. You know, just a young thing that thinks that like he could solve Delphi this. You know, the one that sent in all that freaking waste of space and waste of time. Sorry, but there's very few people that I put on a very low level life of YouTube streamers when it comes to talking about them. He's one of them. It's just disgusting. It's just disgusting that those people even come out of the woodwork. The crime, the excitement, too much excitement in the day for autism, ADHD kids might result in a meltdown. They may have been overflowing. Yeah. Sorry guys. I gotta go in here in a couple of minutes. Right. Absolutely. I mean, like there's boundaries, right? There's definitely boundaries, but each to their own boundaries. And it's one of those things, right? Each to their own what they do on YouTube, and stuff like that, you know. But some of them flat out stalking is taking numbers too crazy. Go search, do something productive instead of watch the house and the neighborhood. At the end of the day, like I said, each to their own half pint on this one, right? Some people definitely take things too far. But by the same token, I love boots on the ground. I like having that visual of what the area is like and around there. So I think it's one of those things, right? I mean, it's at the end of the day, we can only put out our thoughts about that. But what one YouTuber does and what they don't do is really up to them and whatever they deem their morals compasses. And, I don't know. For me, I only watch YouTube channels that have those kind hearts that are doing it for good reasons, that they're not that they're just wanting to talk about the cases, and bring things to light and stuff like that. Myself, I don't have the time of day to these people that just try to ride off of clicks and views, that just try to use cases to their benefit to line their pockets better and stuff like that. I personally see those people a mile away and I don't watch them because I don't care to. I just like watching people that at least have honesty and integrity behind their channel. That's just who I am. How is Alexa? Um, Alexa's good. I've talked to her a couple times in Messenger, but on the weekend, we're supposed to like talk on the phone type thing. So other than that, she's been busy. She just said she just got back in town the other day. So, she's been busy doing her stuff as well. Um, I'm not into the whole drama stuff, Like I said, drama doesn't help make awareness to cases. Sure, it brings in a lot more people because people like drama, sadly. I'm just not into that. If it takes longer to grow a channel because I refuse to let people come in and start drama, then so be it. At least I'm being honest to who I am. And I'm not trying to just to go, oh yeah, come on every sub, come on every this, let's earn some money and type of thing. Nah, not gonna happen. Not on my watch. Anyways, but still at the end of the day, it just becomes each to their own. I can only worry about myself and what I do, who I watch, who I let in here, type of thing, and other people do their own thing. And whether you like them or hate them or whatever, again, people first of all like drama, they love it. Sadly enough, they would rather hear that somebody died and was burned and all this and eaten by animals than putting up something that doesn't have such so enticing of a title to it. It's just the way it is, right? Tell her I miss her on the lives. Okay, I won't outback. Kidding. Elf. The problem is, hi Elf, by the way. The problem is not many are like you. A lot of people enjoy the wackiness of insanity of some creators. No, a lot of them do. And I know that. And that's why they'll get those clicks and those people in there. I watch it with Delphi all the time. Does it bug me? Well, it bugs me where people's morals stand, really. It just shows me what people really want. And I think that that's pretty sad that that's what the people thrive on, in a sense, like around the world. So, like that's just in general, really. And we know that because, like those star magazines and all those inquiring magazines and, those people wouldn't exist if it wasn't for people that love that shit, right? The world's made it. I mean, what am I going to do about it? Anything? No. People are going to do what they do. Can't control that. It's sad, but that's just the way it is. Mm-mm. If she brings up the profiling on Chris and Katie, let us know what. Oh, I see. Yeah. I have been asking for weeks and no one seems to answer. What's that, Tardine? If the parents are guilty, why not say he had Well, no, absolutely. Right. Terry, in all fairness, I've thought about that a few times now, and that's something that doesn't make sense to me, right? If these parents are guilty, right, why would you sit there and tell the public that he didn't have shoes? You wouldn't even mention that. Why, if there was flashlights out back, why would you tell people that he had a flashlight? People are going to twist that. But to me, if you're guilty, you're not going to be sitting there saying, by the way, he took off out of the house without just what benefit? Because that sounds kind of crazy. What benefit does that have to somebody that's involved in the disappearance of Sebastian to let us know that he didn't take shoes? you know I don't think that they had anything to do with it. you know I think that they definitely are people to be desired, and if it does come to fruition, and let's say I'm totally ass wrong, again, so be it. As long as we'll know what happened to Sebastian, I'm good with being right or wrong. But it's just when you try to look at things logically, right? That's exactly it. Why would you say that the door was locked? Why wouldn't you say, yeah, like, I came downstairs, the door was unlocked, and normally it was locked, and da 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 da. You know, so there's things that someone would typically do. No one's going to sit there, to me, at least in my eyes, and say, what, by the way, he left without shoes, you know, and then go, but really, I'm pointing to, and that doesn't make sense. Too much plausible to the masses. Yeah, I know. I get you. I get you. But it's those little things that you look at. At least I do. It's those little things that you think in your head. Like, would this make sense? If somebody's trying to claim that, or people are trying to say like that they're guilty, well, look at everything. Does it make sense that they're gonna sit there and talk about shoes, about that he went barefoot? Like, why would somebody even talk about that? Why would somebody even think to include that? Like, here, let me just like write down all the things that we have to do and say. Yep, no shoes. It doesn't make sense to me. Um, 2024 morals went out the window a long time ago. Well, yeah, you know, yeah, absolutely. Not into the Delphi drama. We'll cover the case when we need to, when it actually gets into trial more so. I know that there's paperwork been coming out. I haven't even actually cared, to be honest with you. I am so over the paperwork stuff. I'm just like, get it to trial, okay? Let's show the proof, show the evidence if he's guilty, type of thing, and get it to the jury. And let's move on with this shit. Honestly, I'd rather talk about Sebastian than honestly talk about the paperwork of Delphi that's going on. There's other channels that will cover that, no problem. For me, I'm just so over the paperwork stuff, like over it. It's been months and months of these documents and documents that, for the most part, it's like you understand the gist. It's so boring ass to me to sit on a live, keep talking about certain documents that are just worded with lawyer shit that most people don't understand. Most people just want to know the gist of the paperwork. They could care less to go through every single page of it. They just want to know the gist of what's going on. That part people can relate to. I mean, there are some people, don't get me wrong, there's some people out there that love all the words on a document and stuff like that. Not one of those people. No, not one of those people. I heard them say footprints and ask what shoe size 10. Yeah, on the audio or that phone call audio. Joke was on them. I liked walking. So again, anyone that's coming in here, if you watch any of this video, it was really, I just honestly wasn't going to do a live today, just really tired. But when I heard about the flashlight video, I'm just kind of hoping that people will understand now that that was not flashlights. If Seth said it, if TBI said it, if Christopher Proudfoot said it, I'm pretty sure you guys can eliminate that, you know, instead of trying to add more drama to it that's not there. Just take it away. It doesn't belong there anymore, right? Right? Again, it's not even a flashlight. It was a garbage truck. The timing was said to have been off on the video anyway, so that just all goes together with the garbage truck coming at about 5:10 instead of 3:10, you know, and the fact that, um, like I said, TBI said it, Christopher Prophet said it, now Seth's saying it, and Seth's actually saying what it was in the video, whereas Christopher Proudfoot didn't say. Maybe he thought thank you, Ben. Maybe he thought that he shouldn't, you know, and that's why he didn't say what it was. Whereas Seth was like, yeah, it is a garbage truck. Yeah, I saw that video. Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. So they can rule out those lights being garbage truck pickup, huh? Too, huh? Well, not sure exactly what that meant. But yes, they can rule out the lights because it wasn't lights. Like it was lights from a garbage truck. You know, probably hence why, I don't know. You know, if you're seeing it through the trees and stuff like that, you know, bottom line is that it's not flashlights. It's clearly been said that to us. And then Seth just confirmed it, right? And said that it was garbage truck. He saw the video too. I mean, Christopher Proudfoot said that they had been shown the video. He just never said what it was. But if people aren't going to believe TBI, you know, and they're going to think that they're lying about it and stuff like that, or somehow they're trying to twist it, you know, hey, Jeff, then what more can I possibly say to somebody? I'm just putting out the information. It's people can do whatever they want with it. And this is just information that, like I said, I just try to keep things factual, you know, along the lines of what's getting put out there that's truthful, or at least what we know is supposed to be truthful, or that's coming out of the horse's mouths. So at the end of the day, whatever comes out of Christopher's mouth, you know, and he says, regardless if he has any involvement, it can all be used in a court of law because he said it publicly on somebody's channel or this and that, stuff like that, right? But anyways, you know, I just like to try to keep things a little bit on the sane side, you know, like here's our facts, but with Sebastian, honestly, so yeah, I mean, everything just points back to the house because there's nothing that we know of to show that he left the house, right? Technically, there's like just nothing to show us. So unless those 10 size shoe prints, you know, are his, and that they did get a scent out there, but they didn't find him. Like I said, did he take off and he was overlooked? Possibly, you know, I don't know. There, like I said, there's just this case is weird. I can't even say it enough. No shoe, in my opinion. Mom knows shoes leave a tread. She left barefoot, so she left barefoot and became they are in the same house. Dogs gets may find sense. Not actually sure what that means, Angel, to be honest with you. No shoe, my opinion is mom knows shoes leave tread, so she left barefoot and became they are. Not really sure what that means, to be honest, Angel. Why didn't the mother call his real dad and ask if he had heard from him or picked him up? Well, you know, I think myself. Yes, Lisa, that was said in the video that what I played on this one. Um, so for who's ever, if you haven't seen it, Lisa, they talk about that in the video, and they talk about that they had met with TBI, and then she said, like, is there anything something like new? He said, well, nothing I can talk about, nothing that they are allowed to talk about to the public. What I was looking for in all of that is, what information did they gather? Because information that's said to them, if it's important and whatever, will determine, perhaps about Seth searching, the words that he's saying, right? So if they're saying that they have an inkling or something to show that he did take off, right? Would that stop Seth Rogers from looking for his son? Would his words sound differently if he's told certain information? So it's kind of like trying to read the tea leaves of it all. Fuchsia flower. I came in late, not sure if it was covered. Well, I mean, it was just simply covered that they met up with TBI, that there was no information that Seth was allowed to share. And I noticed JLR, he's like out of there now. He's like, peace out. I'm not working with the UCN and stuff like that. And, he's on his way back to Florida. And obviously there's other cases as well. I don't know. I'm not getting into that drama part of it, but you know, I think it was because he called out UCN, and then there this whole thing, and then then that's when like Robin Rogers and Seth, you could tell, is like, like, this is about Sebastian, not about like this drama stuff that's going on, and da 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 da. And that's what I found kind of hypocritical, a little bit of Robin Rogers, just for the fact that, she's going around to the different channels talking about Christopher Proudfoot, and that she knows that he did something to Sebastian and blah, blah, blah. And then she's like saying, stop the negativity. Well, sorry, Robin, but you really added fuel to the fire in all of this. So you can't really say stop the negativity when you're going around spreading a lot of negativity in the words that you're saying. But again, if she just likes Christopher Proudfoot, which I can understand why, so be it. But don't be a double standard, right? Don't sit there and go, this should be about Sebastian, when almost most of her conversations are about Christopher Proudfoot. It's about Sebastian, correct? But it's a little bit hypocritical when somebody says like, stop the negativity. Well, maybe you should as well then. I would have been more worried didn't have a coat. I know on there. Okay. I'm sorry, you guys, but I'm just gonna read a couple more, and then I just gotta go. I'm tired. I want to just relax a little bit more before I have to go to bed here. It's just really hard. I got plenty of rest yesterday, guys. I did, and I still could barely keep my eyes open. Did you hear about the missing lady in Vancouver? No, I haven't at all. I'll look at that tonight when I'm in bed. Jeff, the home security footage isn't very helpful at all. Did anyone post the actual video file, or just pointing their camera at the screen? What home security footage? You're not talking about the flashlights, right? Because that's the only stuff I saw was that one, to be honest. Night Ann. Nice to see you. I don't know, to be honest, Diana. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how I feel tomorrow, and stuff like that. I got stuff I need to get done. And like I said, when for a year and a half, I really haven't had to like really go anywhere. Really, it's like 2 feet to my computer, So, when you're in a office space and stuff like that, it's like, oh, can barely stay awake here. Oh yeah, right. And happy Easter. I keep forgetting it's Easter, so I have to work tomorrow, but I get Monday off. But yeah, so my husband has tomorrow off. Didn't look like trash truck lights to me. At the end of the day, if 3 people that are all part of this case are telling you that it's not flashlights, and then Seth is saying that it's a garbage truck lights, because what we heard from TBI was you are only being seen a portion of it. You aren't getting the full grasp of that video. So again, I honestly don't care what people think it is. I'm not going to pursue it. If someone wants to still think it's flashlights, like I said, go right ahead, right? You have your own thoughts and can do whatever you want. But I'm pretty sure if three people tell you that it has nothing to do with the case, and that's coming from TBI, Christopher Proudfoot, and Seth, I'm pretty sure you can safely say, don't waste your time. But if you want to still, go right ahead. That's totally up to you. I'm not. I just wanted to put this out there to give you guys, for whoever wanted to have an answer to what those lights were. Maybe go back and look at it again, perhaps. Because when somebody puts flashlights in your head, you can't help but think of it. But just think if something's moving, and things are very deceptive. Things are easily very deceptive. So, anyways, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we just want Sebastian to be found, or at least understand what happened to him. And that part about what happened to him, no effing clue. No effing, nobody has an effing clue. Seriously. I don't think that the mom's going to get into the car for like 20 minutes, go dispose of the body, during the daytime, while she's going to go look for him at school, like, talking to her husband. I don't think like it's like, here, let me just mighty Hulk him out of the freaking vehicle. Like that would have been taken care of earlier in the morning if that was the case, right? So it's just things like that. Oh no, 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 no! I wasn't taking it that way by necessary. Um, all I say is, like, when you're looking at something, you just try to look at the logical side and what seems true and what seems untrue, or what seems rational, right? And I don't think that I think that Katie and Chris have both, you know, done odd things, but it's not like they're professional interviewers. I think that Chris is a jerk by nature. I think that he thinks he's like a better person than what he is. But that's just my personal opinion. I think that Katie's, she's just acting all meek and like a little meerkat type of thing. I don't think she is that way, but it's almost like two personalities. I feel that there's this one that's like, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. And then there's the one with a lot stronger voice. Either way, you know, it's easy to judge, but not be in their shoes, I suppose, eh? I believe that there's a chance that he is still alive. I actually do. In his case, I didn't at first for the first little bit once it had been a week, but I actually do have hope that Sebastian or somebody helped him leave, because for all we know, there could be more to Seth than what we know about. You know, just because he might smell like roses doesn't mean he is roses. So we don't know. We don't know, you know, what Sebastian's thoughts are. Who knows? Like, we can only take his words that, I want my son back. I love him so much. He's my kid. He's this and that. But we don't know what Sebastian, like, we don't know the truth in a sense. So, like, I mean, obviously paperwork can show different things. I've seen the paperwork for Seth and the allegations from the ex with the abuse and stuff like that. So I have seen that paperwork. But again, I also know too that women can absolutely make shit up, just to be evil to a guy as well. you know just, well, vice versa, can happen, but typically it's the female that is like, you don't fuck with me. So I see those head games go on all the time, that females or whatever will lie and shit just to project something that's not true, because some women can be very evil and wicked like that. you know Guys can too, but typically it's the women that sorry men, but typically the women their minds can go from A to B to Z to D to F to G to K to A to B, and freaking have a way better plan than most men can, because we overthink things. anyways, you guys, I don't know what's going on, like I said, with studio today, with not allowing me to turn on chat replay and stuff like that, or subs only, who knows. um Caleb looks fun loving. I know. I just don't have time to look into stuff right now. Like I said, starting a new job and stuff like that. I'm just tired right now, and so I'll just do things as I can do them, as best I can do. Now listed as single. I don't know. Stepdad. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, again, this video, you guys, it was about Seth talking about the garbage truck lights that people thought were flashlights. He's also talking about information that they received, but they're not allowed to talk about that new information that they received. Anyways, feel free to listen to it again. You guys take care. Miss Dog Lover, thank you for the super chat, and nice to see you guys tonight. And you guys just, again, prayers to Seth Rogers and the murdered and the missing in general, of course. And you guys have a good Easter weekend. May you have lots of ham or whatever it is that you guys have, and stuff like that. Spend time with your family, your kids, and have a really good weekend. All right, you guys take care. All the best.